Have you ever been out photographing a group of 3 dogs and you're having a really hard time getting them to line up to be able to capture a group image with all 3 of them on the same plane of focus and still use that nice wide open buttery aperture so you can have that nice shallow depth of field? Don't worry, I got you covered. In this video, I'm going to show you a 30-second hack in order to create an image that is perfection, no matter how crazy your 3 dogs are. While you're here, go ahead and hit subscribe to get notified of future videos I'm releasing on this channel, which is all about the craft and business of pet photography. All right, but let's jump into these 3 dogs. As you can see, I was attempting to get a picture of these 3 dogs, but really only 2 wanted to cooperate, and this other guy was pretending like he wasn't friends, and he was a little bit off and different, and instead of me having the owners go ahead and try to reset up this black one to get him right in the same spot, I said, all right, close enough. I know that I have this tool in my editing toolbox that I can fix it magically in post, and everyone will think their dogs were perfect angels. Actually, these dogs were pretty awesome. They were really fun. Anyway, you can see these 2 dogs on the right have great expression. They are sitting, they are looking like, I love that expression. Anytime I can get those dogs focused and I'm getting that expression, I'm going to keep shooting because that is so much of the magic sauce that goes into pet photography is getting that connection with your subject. So I kept on shooting. I got some images of these 2 dogs. As you can see, this one image, they're both in focus. Great. So then I moved my focus point over to the black dog, slid my camera over slightly, and you can see I got a couple good images of that dog in focus, but you can see these other 2 dogs are kind of out of focus in the background. Now, this would be a great photo if the owners were like, the black dog's my favorite, and we only kind of like the other 2 dogs. All right, great. They would probably want this on their wall. But if that's not the case, they probably want to see all 3 of their dogs in focus. So here's a quick hack in order to do that. 30 seconds, really, really quick. We're going to grab our marquee tool and we're just going to select really this whole half of the image. We're going to Command V for copy. We're going to click over to our other image and Command V for paste. We're going to grab this little move tool right here. We have this layer. I don't know why there's a hue saturation luminance adjustment. We're going to get rid of that. Anyway, we're going to select that layer that we just pasted here and we are going to just slide it on over. Now we can't really see what we're doing, so I'm just going to lower my opacity a little bit to about 50%. So that way I can kind of line up the grass right here. You can see that grass needs to be kind of lined up. And then I can also move him over so he's good friends with his other friends there. So we'll move him right about there. All right, great. Now we're going to move that opacity back up. We are going to go ahead and click this little button right down here with the circle inside the rectangle. That adds a layer mask. White reveals, black conceals, so we can see everything here right now. We're going to keep it that way. We're going to hit B for our brush tool. Since the mask is white, we are going to want to brush on black. And we're just going to make sure our brush is really soft. You can see it's extremely soft. And we are just going to get rid of that hard line, brush his little friend back in here, get rid of this hard line on the grass. Well, and then we're going to have the dog over there. So then we'll just kind of crop in a little bit. When I do this for these little lines that I want to, kind of paint back in, we want to make sure that we're not painting this dog back in. So we're going to keep this hard line kind of right here because the dog's right there. So that's okay. We can just crop over to about that spot. And I will turn this layer on and off a few times just to double check. Just to double check the areas around the edges to make sure there's nothing crazy, that it all looks good and it looks like that's how it could be. So we are good here. We are going to go ahead and crop, but first I'm just going to go ahead and flatten because I live on the edge. If you're not sure about your selection, please don't flatten yet. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and select, and we are just going to pull in a little bit this crop tool to wherever we want to be, probably right about here. And there we go, 3 perfectly behaved angels. And now we just need to remove leashes, but I told you 30 seconds for that quick merging. So next time you have a group, just go ahead and move that focus point around, and then you should be able to easily merge these images in post. Now, I will say, if that was a building behind them, that would be much more difficult. Since it was soft and organic, that tends to mesh really, really well to be able to kind of merge and move the dog over. Or if you end up at a little bit of a different angle or perspective from the other images, since you are moving a little bit if you're not shooting on a tripod, which most of us pet photographers aren't because that would be hard. Remember that this works best on these organic backgrounds. So hope that helps you for your next session. And make sure you check out our playlist for all of our other editing tutorials.